Are you gonna tell me where you went? All the messages I sent with no reply. It's like that. You're just gonna walk into my room. I hate how you assume I'll take the pleasure and the pain, the sorrows in your brain, 'cause I know you're on the run. I'll take the pleasure and the pain, your secrets to my...
I'm gonna hate myself when I edit this later. I feel like this video is like all over the place because as soon as I answer like one question, I have like a bunch of other answers in that question. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is PJ and I upload twice a week. Today's video is a little bit different, as you can probably tell. I'm in a different setup. I thought this video could be really chill and, you know, I just chill on the couch with my dog. I'm going to do an Accutane update. As you probably know, in a lot of my videos I do mention that I am on Accutane. I put a post up on Instagram asking what questions you guys would want for this video and I got a whole bunch of responses, so today I'm going to be answering those questions. At the end of the video I'm also going to put in like my skincare routine, ranging from like how to take off my makeup and what I use whilst I'm on Accutane, just because that was another question. I also just want to state that I'm not like a dermatologist, I'm not a medical professional. All I'm doing is just sharing my experience with Accutane and what it's done for me, and I'll let you know like a little bit about what the dermatologist told me. So there was a question that said, what is it? Basically this is what it is. It comes in a normal prescription box like this, and then it comes in a little red pill like this, and the pill doesn't taste bad or anything like that. It's got like a gel silicone coating. It's not one of those like tablet Panadols that like dissolves in your mouth before you swallow it. So it's really easy to take. You need to take one of these a day. When I first started taking it I was like, oh, I really don't want to take this. Like, it sounds silly, but taking a pill every day for me is like a huge effort. So I was just like, oh, I just can't be bothered. And then once I actually started seeing results in my skin, I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna keep taking this pill. What does it do? So basically, from my understanding, Accutane dries up the sebaceous glands in your skin, like the sebum I think it's called, and that causes your skin to stop producing like a lot of oil, and then you don't have a lot of acne popping through. So the issue with my skin was that I was over producing oil, so it didn't matter how much like I moisturized or put oils on or hydrated my skin or anything like that. My actual skin, just from going through like puberty and stuff like that, was just producing way too much oil than it was meant to be, and then my skin wasn't knowing like how to deal with it or how to like clean it or anything like that, and it was getting too dirty and too oily, and it was just creating acne. That's my understanding of what my skin went through from what my dermatologist told me. So basically, dries your skin, makes you not produce as much oil, you don't get as much acne. So I went on Accutane around like mid-July to late July, and I was going really well. I'd been on it for about 2 months, and then I went back to the dermatologist and she wanted to know how everything was going, and I said everything's going good, but after about a month and a half it kind of just stayed the same. So she said, we're going to up the dosage because I'm not having any side effects or anything like that, which I will talk about in a second. So I started on 10 milligrams. The brand I have is Orotane. I think that's how you pronounce it. Basically they all have the same ingredient in it, which is Accutane. So I had a few questions that were sort of the same question. Can anyone get it? Is it easy to get Accutane, or are the doctors pretty strict with it? So it is selective on who they give it to. So I've had acne since I was 12 and I'm now nearly 23, and the doctors haven't given it to me since now. But when I first started getting acne, it was all, oh, you just need to wash your face, you just need to eat better, stuff like that. And I tried doing that and it never really changed anything. I was just thinking, oh, I was going to grow out of it. And then I turned 18 and then I was like, okay, like maybe I should have grown out of it by now. And then like 19, 20, and then I was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. Like, you know, I'm becoming like an actual adult and I still have acne. So I went to the doctors and they said that I was producing less estrogen than I should have been at my age, and so they put me on an estrogen tablet, and that didn't really do anything. I didn't really notice any difference. I was on that for 6 months, and then I went to the doctors again and I went on the contraceptive pill, and the pill I went on was called Yaz or Yasmin. I can't remember which one, but basically it was just for the skin, and this pill was like $70 a month. I was on that pill for exactly 3 months, And in that time, I gained 21 kilos. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, she just ate like crap, blah, blah, blah. In that time, actually, I joined the gym. I went to the gym 3 times a week and I paid for a personal trainer. I paid $300 a week for a personal trainer. And that's coming from a girl who was like, I don't have enough money to pay $70 for a pill. I was that determined to stay in shape. My skin actually had cleared up quite a bit. The pill did do what it said it was going to do, not as well as Accutane has. So I was working out 4 to 5 times a week. I was eating really healthy and I was on the pill. All around, everything was really good. And then it hit about 2 months and then I was like, geez, I feel like I'm putting on weight. Like, you know, my clothes aren't fitting or anything like that. It actually hit smack bang on the day of the 3rd month of me being on the pill. So I went to the doctor's. Now, she already had done a blood test and weighed me previously before going on the pill. So we know what weight I was at. And so she did all my blood pressure and she weighed me again. And she was like, is there anything you're doing different? And she's like, well, I think you should stop the pill today, right now. You know, like, what do I do? Do I keep going? Like, will it stop? Like, and she's like, no, if you keep taking this pill, you will just keep putting on more and more weight. She just said it's like not reacting well to you. It just wasn't healthy. So I stopped the pill that day. That was at the start of November 2018. I know it's been like a year. It's crazy for me to think about it. But in that time, I was sort of like, you know, I've put on weight, whatever. I was like really depressed. So I was like, I'm just going to eat whatever I want anyway. And then time just like kept flying by and I didn't realize that I was still at this weight. It hit the end of July and I was like, okay, I'm actually sick of my skin. By then, that was about 8 months. My skin had gone through Christmas time, my birthday, Easter, like all those kind of holidays where maybe I would eat bad and my skin would just get like, you know, awful. But it actually got to the point where my skin was so like cystic and sore, I couldn't actually touch it. And I'd be like washing my face and I couldn't actually wash my face. Like I'd have to like really lightly like rub it and then straight after I'd done that like wash it with cold water and then just like hold my face so it wouldn't hurt anymore. So I went and saw the dermatologist. So my first dermatologist appointment was $260. That was just to see the dermatologist. That was just my consultation. So I didn't know if I was going to get the pill. I didn't know if she was going to turn around and say, look, like, you're not eligible. She sat down and said, what is it that you're after? What issues do you have with your skin? Like, what is your end goal? And she had a look at my skin. She said, yeah, I definitely think you qualify for going on Accutane. So before I was able to get Accutane, I needed to have a blood test and a urine test. I'm not quite sure what the urine test was for, and the blood test was to make sure that all my levels, like my thyroid and all that, were all good. So I had to wait a week for that to come back, and then I said to her, am I going to have to pay another $260 to get the appointment? And she said, no, all you need to do is come in and they'll have a script for you at the front door. So to like sum up the question of is it easy to get, I definitely think that I had to like go through a few tests and a few questionnaires just to see if like I was eligible for it. If you have like one spot, I guarantee you will not be eligible to get on Accutane. And this is answering another question, but it says how much is it? So this one cost me $26.69 and this is the 10 milligram one, and you get 60 pills in this, so it's just over $10 a month, which is way better than the $70 I was paying for that stupid pill. So if you are thinking about going on Accutane, keep in mind a couple of things. Like if your skin is actually needing Accutane, or if maybe the pill would be better for you. If you have the money to go on Accutane, because you do have to keep up with those dermatologist appointments and paying for the pill like every couple of months. And whether or not you can be bothered taking a pill every single day, which is a really trivial thing, but for me it was like a huge thing to get used to. So after this is finished, you basically have a follow-up appointment with the dermatologist. You can't get multiple scripts in a row. At least my dermatologist won't let me. And the reason she said behind that was because every like 7-8 weeks or whatnot, she needs to do another blood test and she needs to make sure that all your levels are fine, like it's going okay in your body, it's not giving you bad side effects, things like that. A plus side is the dermatologist did say that I would only need to be on this for 12 months. And for me, paying that sort of money like 6 times a year isn't that bad if it gives me clear skin, which is what it's done. Just want to add that when I got bumped up to the 20 milligram one, it did cost me $47.38. Same thing, has the same amount of capsules, same way you take it, just everything's the same, just has a different dosage. So how long do you need to be on it? I did just answer that question. They did say 6 to 12 months, but she said with the like severity of how bad my acne was, she would prefer for me to be on it for 12 months. Someone else said, is that the acne medication? Can you go in the sun? So yes, it's the acne medication. This question goes into like all the side effects, which I am going to go into now. So this was a big thing that she had to give me like a pamphlet on. She had to make me sign something to say that I agree to all these side effects and that I understand that something could happen. And then when she sees me every 2 months, she does discuss like how I'm feeling. The first thing she told me was that my acne was going to get worse before it got better. And this is something from after watching YouTube that I've heard over and over again. You know, you use like a new cream or a face wash or something like that, your acne will get worse before it gets better. And for me, it was kind of like, how much worse can it get? I didn't notice it actually got that much worse. I feel like it just kind of stayed cystic for like a couple of weeks. The main side effect is dry skin. And if you know anything about Accutane, you probably know this. Me, I have really oily skin. So my skin is like still a little bit oily, but it's not as oily as it was. Before I was on Accutane, I could put my moisturizer on and I could literally just sit down, and in the next like hour or two, I was like going like this. I could actually see all the oil on my fingers. Like, it was disgusting. I actually had to go and like wash my face or like wipe my face with like a baby wipe. I would keep baby wipes in my bag, in my car, everywhere, just so I could like wipe my face before I like got out of my car or saw anyone in public, because my face was so oily. I was just so embarrassed about it, and it was always so shiny. Now I would say that I have like normal to oily skin. More on the normal side. It only really gets like oily like just here and a little bit like up here. Like at the moment, I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm just wearing like a moisturizer, and I'm wearing the Ole Henriksen one, so it's a little bit glowy, and I have like lights coming down on me. But at the moment, my skin is like, it's fine. Like, it doesn't look oily, nothing's coming off. And another thing with dry skin is she said that the main thing that will get dry is either my eyelids or my lips. And my eyelids, I haven't found have really gotten that dry, but my lips, holy shit. I have never been a lip balm wearer like really in my life. I used to only do it because everyone else was doing it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put like lip balm on before my lipstick, but I never really needed it. Now I have to apply lip balm like 3 to 4 times a day. I'm really bad at it though. If you saw a couple of my previous videos, I mentioned how like my lip was like cracking. I think it was this side actually. Yeah, it was cracking like here, and every time I opened my mouth, it would just split even more. If you can imagine like the Joker, how he says like he cuts his mouth, that's what my mouth started doing. Or like if you like eat a Zooper Duper and you like cut yourself in here, my mouth did that. Now I know because of how painful that was. So that's the main side effect. So you can go out in the sun, but you need to wear sunscreen when you go out. I use the Mecca like SPF 30 on my face, which I find is really good. It's like non-greasy. So that Mecca one's really good. And then I just use this like spray one that I got from like Kohl's. I don't even know what brand it is. It's just in like a blue can and it just sprays on. I don't actually go outside that much. I'm not like the average person who goes out a lot. Obviously, as you can see, I'm really, really white. So sun exposure to me like wasn't really a big thing. And also I drive Uber for a job at nighttime. So I'm like asleep during the day. So for me, like the sun exposure hasn't been too bad, but when I have been out in the sun, I always make sure that I do wear sunscreen. Another main side effect that she did mention to me, which she says is quite a big one, but nobody really talks about it. It can cause you to have quite severe depression. I talk about this quite lightly because I don't know 100% about it, but she did say if you have had depression beforehand, you are more like prone to getting it again whilst being on Accutane. That's something definitely just to think about. She does check in every couple of months again with those follow-up appointments to make sure I'm not having any suicidal thoughts and I'm feeling a-okay. There's a couple of other side effects that can happen, but they're not as major as those ones. So if you are having like any doubts or anything like that, just speak with your doctor or dermatologist about it. So those are the main questions that I had. Hopefully I've answered everything for you and you know a little bit more about Accutane and what it does. If you have any more questions about Accutane or anything about my experience, just let me know down in the comments, and yeah, let's move on to my skincare.
It's like that. You're just gonna walk into my room. I hate how you assume I'll take the pleasure and the pain, the sorrows in your brain.